Hey, I'm Mars VR, and this is Peak. Peak is basically a game where you climb and get to the, well, peak. Throughout Peak, you can find many different items and many different things called luggages, such as one I've displayed here, or even this one. And the other thing that I'm doing here is involving these luggages, and only being able to use items that come out of these luggages and having to take the items. How the rules will work for this is I will go to every single luggage that I will see. I will open it, obviously, and I have to keep whatever I got in there in my inventory or use it. And another thing I have to do is there are these things called the ancient statues that you get at every single fireplace, aka at the end of each map. What I have to do is I have to open up every single one of these, and I have to get the ancient item out of it, and again, either keep it or use it. And if I were to miss a statue, I'd have to go into my backpack or inventory and discard one of my best items. I started off by waking up after the plane crash like you do in the normal game, grabbing myself a backpack and going through to open up the two luggages. I got a granola bar, bandages, and rescue claw in the first one. The second one gave me another bandage. These will be really useful for late game, especially if I get hurt. Then I go to my favorite person in the entire world, my boy, Bing Bong. I then proceed to ask him the amazing question. So Bing Bong, should I sacrifice you to get the extra luck?
I think it's fine.
Okay, Bing Bong, give us the extra luck. After sacrificing my boy Bing Bong, I proceed to make my way to the mountain. On my way there, I found my first luggage, besides the ones I found by the plane crash, giving me a fortified milk. We're actually get to the granola bar in the backpack instead, because everything else is important. This can save me from a fall, this can save me from a second fall, and also save me from, they're all saving me from falls. I then find myself a second luggage, giving me fortified milk, trail mix, which I eat basically immediately, and then another bandage. I'm gonna take everything. Well, from now on, everything I take out of this thing now has to be replaced. I have to replace things in my inventory, because I have to take it. While climbing, I find myself a third luggage, giving me a checkpoint flag, which is very important in this game, allowing you to respawn at where you've died. However, I have a glitch on the game that allows this to stop working for some reason. This checkpoint flag is going on my back. It's just staying with me. I have to replace another thing on there. But frickle frackle. Wait, no. You guys go back in there. I'm gonna eat the granola bar for the extra stamina. This is probably a horrible idea because it's the only food I can eat. That stuff, but I got trail mix though. After I make my way up from there, I finally make my way to the first checkpoint and find myself an explorer's luggage, giving me a scout cannon and a rope spool. In single player, rope spool is not that important, but a scout cannon can be really cool if I use it the right way, which you see in a minute. I then use my checkpoint flag in case I were to die, but again, this is entirely useless to me as the game does not let the respawn flags work. I then grab the scout cannon, walk over here, and then just put it kind of down to be able to launch myself. What you can do in this game is make a big glitch where you put down the backpack into the cannon, an extra backpack, which I have there, and then launch myself up with it. Here, I grab the ancient statue, open it, get an anti-rope spool, which is the complete opposite of the rope spool, given the anti, and it actually works really well in single player. However, I did not know that it flies up and have a mini heart attack. I can't use you, sadly, because you're not the luggage. I'm gonna start off by putting in the backpack over there. If I can even manage to do that, I think I just some time. Here, I spent a while trying to put this backpack into the cannon, and I struggle for quite a while as I keep on putting myself in there on accident, as you can see here. but eventually I managed to get it in. I then proceed to make sure the backpack's in there correctly, light the fuse, get in, play dead, and then launch myself across the entire map. Not to the top, but far enough that I hit the tree, survive because of the fortified milk, and then can start climbing. Throughout my entire climb, it's basically normal. Climbing up, I use my grappling claw, I think the entire time until it's entirely ran dead. But away there, I find some pretty cool items, such as water, which gives you extra stamina, more food, which I eat decently fast later on in the game. I also managed to get blown away several times by the wind. I used my anti-rope about halfway through it as I get stuck. Used the entire grappling gun till there's nothing left. And eventually, finally, after all the struggling that I go through to get the remedy fungus, the airline food, using up 2 of my things, I finally managed to make it to the very, very, very top of this point. You can notice here how I do not grab the statue item, which really reflects on me later on in the game.
Put that down.
I managed to put down another checkpoint flag, which makes me extremely excited. However, this glitch later on in the game removes it. It could be that I placed down 2 checkpoint flags instead of 1 that really messed it up, but it just didn't work for me, which ended my run when it could have kept on going. I managed to find myself another crate, getting myself another energy drink. However, I discovered something I didn't know. A blizzard. Dealing massive damage to me, how I did not know how to counter it. I find this itty bitty little hole in the ground. I decide, you know what? I'm jumping down it. So here I go. Whee! I make my way down. I sit there for a little bit, and eventually, the blizzard wears off. I then make my way across the map, picking up more chests, picking up more, well, basically everything I find. I make my way up. I find a few new fruits. However, I could not eat them because the rules are I have to use only things that are inside of luggages. So I make my way up the mountain. I climb, over and over again, until eventually a weird glitch happens. I drink this energy drink to go faster up the mountain. But when I do, I get sent launched back, almost to the bottom of the mountain of where I started. I climb back up using the energy drink's power. However, it really sucked that I could not make it higher than where I was. I continue to climb up the mountain, finding little pockets to sit in and waiting for blizzards to pass. I open a crate and I get some cool things, including a flare, which I throw out literally instantly. I climb higher and higher until eventually I make it to the top of this mountain. I make it to the next checkpoint, grab the ancient statue, which turns out to be anti-rope, which could be really important later on in the game. Sadly, I do not get to use it. I go over to the campfire to then cook my bandages, which will then give me extra stamina whenever I use them. I proceed to then go down the mountain into the caldera.
I can't take those either because I'm not feeling great. Oh my gosh. Can you even get food from these? From crates up here? I mean, I'm sure you can, right?
I proceed to go through most of the caldera, making it through these amazing jumps and doing the rest of it. And it becomes increasingly easy as I do it. Eventually, the worst happens. I look around for a place to jump, and I try to jump down to here. But as I do, I fall in the lava. I try to heal with the bandage. However, it does not work in time, and I slowly but steadily die. My anti-rope flies into the sky to meet me in heaven, and my game run ends.
Now the lava rose.
That didn't work out too well. We made it not as far as I thought I would before I died, and well, I died. But the plus side is I got this cool outfit. As you can tell, looks decently swaggy. I got it from having less than 25% spores going through roots. I look swaggy, don't I? I just want to thank you for watching my video, and
tagging along with me on this horrible, disgusting journey that I hated entirely. But say goodbye, Bing Bong.
I'm Bing Bong.
Yes, you are, Bing Bong. I'll see you guys for part 2, and I'll try again to hopefully complete this challenge. Goodbye.